Hiya, my name's Charlie and welcome to my channel and welcome to my weekly reads. Happy Easter for those of you that celebrate. What are all your Easter plans? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know all your Easter traditions, etc. What you got up to, getting up to, etc. So before I talk about all of the fun stuff, I'm going to go into the actual books that I've read. So the first book that I actually finished on Saturday last week, so the day after I filmed, which was Really Doris by Charles Heathcote, my lovely friend. This is the fourth book in the Doris series. Myself and Charlie will be doing a live show on Friday the 14th of April. I think at 7 or 7:30. I will put all the details in the description and obviously details on where you can buy Charlie's books. So yeah, this was really, really good. This is my favourite of Charlie's books, even though I have really loved all of them, and actually I really loved reading Indisputably Doris as well, mainly because I'd forgotten so much of it. These are all side notes. You should check out the series. It's a brilliant series. I love Charlie's writing. We are also going to be reading now An Heir to Murder in April and discussing that in May. So again, you're welcome to join us. I'll put links where you can buy that book in the description as well. So that is that. Then I finished a poetry collection as it's TransGirlApril. I don't think this was actually on my TBR, but it was one I was already halfway through on my e-reader. So yeah, this was Why Dust Shall Never Settle on This Soul by Ryka Aoki. This is a poetry collection discussing identity, duty, home and selfhood. Ryka is a trans woman, and so if you were looking for some poetry to fit that prompt, that will do nicely. Also, I have another book by her on my list, which is Light from Uncommon Stars. This is one that Kevvie, I think, has spoken about. So yeah, I can't wait to get to that one. That's on my script, saved list. So if I can get to that one this month, I will. If not, obviously, like I said, all of these books I can just fit into another time this year. So yeah. But I really did enjoy the poetry collection. It was really, really good. Because I'd read half of it before, some of it obviously I've forgotten, but I will go back. This is something, poetry is something, you read over and over again. You can go back to, dipping your toes in and out of it, which is something I will probably be doing with this collection as well. But I did really enjoy what I read. So yeah, I'm not the best at describing poetry, so sorry. The next book I finished was another book for TransGirlApril, which I'd bought. If you guys, I will link, I've just done a book haul, which I will link in the description below. This is Welcome to St. Hell by Lewis Hancox. So in case you guys don't know, this is a graphic memoir. So this is non-fiction by Lewis, and it's sort of like a letter to his younger self. And it's really, really, I think this is mainly aimed at young trans teens, but anyone can read this and anyone can enjoy this. This was just a delight. I gave this 5 stars. It is obviously aimed at a younger market, but it was still very, very accessible, readable, and I really enjoyed it. And then I subsequently afterwards found out that he's got a YouTube channel where he mainly does comedic skits and stuff. So I watched a few of his videos. They are really good. And there's also another video which I will link in the description where he talks about this book. So sort of introduces it properly. So yeah, I will link that in the description below. Yeah, definitely a good one to check out. And I know a few of us booktubers on the day picked this one up as well. So yeah, I'm sure you'll be hearing a lot more about this book. Right, then still I was into the graphic book thing. So I picked up this one by Princess Ever After by Kay O'Neill. Basically, it's a queer love story of a princess stuck in a castle and another princess comes and rescues her. The only thing that brought it down, this is my reread of this, is that there was the main character is often referred to as fat by her sister. The sister is a baddie, so I think this is the reason why it's done like that. But I thought I'd give you guys a heads up about it because obviously that could be distressing for some people. So I'm just letting you know. So yeah, that brought the rating down a little bit, but I still Kay O'Neill's work is brilliant. I love Kay O'Neill. They have also done the Tea Dragon Society, etc. So you'll probably be familiar with their work. But yeah, another one I recommend. So then I listened to Fire Rush by Jaqueline Crooks. This is a one that's listed on the Women's Prize long list this year, and it talks about, so it's sort of like got its roots around dub music, and it talks about a lot about police violence, friendship. It talks about so it's like there's like the riots in London, and it also weaves, there's elements of like West Indian folklore that are kind of a little bit, but not like heavily. So it's not a magical realism book, but it does mention and sort of weave little bits into that. Right, I liked this book, I really did, and the audiobook is amazing. And I know that Eric, the lovely Eric Carl Anderson, who we spoke to on Tuesday, I'll link the video, the live show, if you want to watch that in the description. He described it in his review as a vibrant novel, which I 100% agree, and I do agree with that. But the only thing for me that made it not quite connect as much was that there are a lot of themes within this, obviously, as I mentioned, and it feels like it jumps from one theme to the next, and it doesn't do it completely seamlessly, so it does feel quite clunky in places, and the ending didn't quite work for me as well. But it's a really, really strong book, and I would 100% check out more from the author. This is a debut novel by her, so yeah, I did enjoy it, and I was sort of struggling to work out exactly where I'm going to be placing it on my list, but we'll get to that after I've talked about all of the books I read this week. But yeah, and my rankings. But yeah, it was good, but it's just not a favourite for those reasons. I also read, I'm also taking part in the Picture This readathon, which is being hosted by the lovely Jack from Spread Book Joy and Shelley from Shelley Sperring, which I'll link like the announcement video for that in the description, one of their announcement videos in the description. So I read in the evening, Monday when I was in the library, I picked up a bunch of picture books to follow the prompts, and that night time I read a couple of them out loud to my husband, because my kids are not interested in that, and I feel like storybooks you have to read out loud, and my husband's game, and he likes listening to stories. He doesn't care, like, he's lovely. So yeah, I read, the first one is Hugo by Atinuke, illustrated by Birgitta Sif. This is just basically a story of a pigeon who kind of like lives in the park, and he spots someone that's lonely, and so it's sort of that. The illustrations in this is what drew me to this book, and it's cute. I've read quite a lot of picture books because obviously I've been working in the library, and I would say if you've got kids, I don't think this is like one I would 100% recommend, because I just don't like... I liked it. Adults probably might like this more than children. I just can imagine reading this for the kids and them not really being engaged with it as much. So I liked it, but it wasn't like a favourite. Then I picked up If My Dad Were the Toothfairy, which I just thought was very, very cute and sweet, because I can imagine lots of kids like wanting their parents to be tooth fairies and imagining that they were. So this is what this book does, and it's very, very sweet, very, very funny, and I do think that lots of children would enjoy this book. So yes. And the colours, it's very, very colourful, and yeah, it's just, yeah, lots and lots of fun. So yeah, those are all the books that I finished this week. So in terms of what I'm currently reading and my reading plans, etc., I just wanted to quickly, actually, before I go on to that, I'm going to quickly mention a DNF. It's not a proper hard DNF, so please, people, don't come for me. I'm going to put this back on my shelves and then restart this when my brain is in a better space. The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I know this is a favourite by loads of booktubers. So I started this. This was meant to be a buddy read with my sister, Emily, from Novell Novels, but my brain just couldn't get into it. And like I said, sometimes it's like a concentration thing, and I did enjoy what I read of it, but because I fell behind on the buddy read, it then kind of gave me less impetus to kind of pick it up. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all my bookmarks out, put it back on the bookshelf, and I will come back to this, maybe via audiobook potentially. Has anyone listened to the audiobook of this? Do you recommend it? Let me know in the comments below. So yeah, this is like a DNF for now, but sorry. Then, I haven't read any more of Her Majesty's Coven. Actually, have I read a bit more? I think I read a couple of chapters last weekend, but I haven't picked it up since because it's one I feel like is going to be a 5-star read. So I'm like wanting to be able to dedicate a solid amount of time to it and be able to fully immerse myself in it. But every single page of this that I've read, I have loved. So yeah, that's that one. I've also been reading Black Butterflies by Priscilla Morris on my Kindle. I'm up to sort of 36%. This is another Women's Prize long listed book, this I'm actually enjoying a lot more. The writing style is just very easy and it's more my kind of book, if you know what I mean. It's set in the early 1990s and we follow Zora, who's an artist. The city is on the cusp of war at the beginning of this book, and her husband has chosen to take the family back over to the UK. Her pet, I think, including her mother, and Zora has decided to remain in the city, thinking that kind of nothing is going to happen, etc. But obviously, events start to unfold. So this is sort of all of that stuff is starting to happen now within the city, and the devastation is befalling, and Zora is witnessing it all at the moment. This is where I'm at. I'm enjoying this book so far. This is sort of high up in my ratings as so far in the 30% that I've read. So yeah, I cannot wait to finish that, and I might try and finish that today if I can. But yeah, so that's that. In terms of like my plans reading, I'm gonna, like I said, other than what I've just mentioned, oh yeah, I'm also listening to The Dog of the North as well on audiobook. I think I'm maybe about 25% into this, and I'm really enjoying the audiobook of this. I feel like, again, this is one I'm sort of taking more time with, but I'm really soaking everything that is being narrated up, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. Again, this is which might be controversial because a lot of people are like about this book, but everything I've listened to so far I've enjoyed. So yeah, that's that. So then, what I want to read, I want to dip into some short stories. Rainbow Rainbow by Lydia Conklin. Lydia Conklin is a non-binary author, so this would fit in terms of those categories on the for the TransGirlApril. Like I said, this is one I've owned for a little while actually, and I think I might have started to try and read one of the short stories and didn't quite get on with it, so I kind of put it down, and I'm not always the best with short stories, being honest. But as Alice said, if you don't enjoy one story, you just go on to the next one. So this is my plan for this one, and I'm just going to try and maybe read one a day and get through it like that. I've already mocked them up, like I said. So yeah, excited to do that. Then in terms of the picture books that I next want to read, I want to read My Beautiful Voice by Joseph Coelho and illustrated by Alison Colpoys. This is probably, out of all the picture books I picked up, this is the one I'm most excited for, so I might read this later when my husband gets home. Right, before I get onto the Women's Prize rankings, my lovely friend, I got some post this week, my lovely friend Jack from Spread Book Joy, who I met in real life, like you would have seen last week. She's so sweet. When we were in London, we were talking about her favourite, obviously everyone's talking about the books they love, etc. And I know how much she loves Terry Pratchett, so I was like, I really need to look out for Mort, and I don't think hadn't spotted it when we were out, and so she so kindly I think she was in a bookshop and picked it up. She spotted it and picked it up for me and sent it to me with this gorgeous little postcard as well, and with a lovely message in the back. She is just the sweetest person, and Jack is just so lovely, and again in real life as well, she was just such a joy, a joy to be with. That's no pun intended for her channel name. But yeah, everyone must check out Jack's channel down below because she's awesome, and I cannot wait to read Mort because this is the one she always says to head to first out of the Discworld series. So yeah, can't wait to read this. Thank you, Jack, for sending it to me. I'm very grateful. So that's that. So right, now I will do my updated Women's Prize rankings because you guys are enjoying me saying that. So I've only got 4 more books left to finish on the Women's Prize. Like I said, I'm currently reading Black Butterflies and The Dog of the North, so after that I'll only have 2 more books left, which is very exciting. So hopefully by the next time I talk to you I'll only have, I don't know how many would I have finished. You guys will find out. In 12th place we've got Pod by Layleen Paul. I DNF'd this one, so maybe that doesn't really count as being read, obviously, but I just really intensely disliked what I had read. Then 11th place, I've got Cursed Bread by Sophie McIntosh. I am no longer going to be calling this boring bread, because when we spoke to Eric, he said how lovely Sophie McIntosh was, so I'm not going to say anything like super terrible, but yeah, it's in 11th place, so you can kind of see my feelings. 10th place, I've got Glory by No Violet Bulawayo. 9th place, Memphis by Tara M. Stringfellow. 8th place is Homesick by Jennifer Croft. I did really enjoy Homesick. I did enjoy it. It's a good book, but obviously it just doesn't rate as highly as the other ones I've read. Then we've got in 7th place, this is where my debate is happening. And the more I think about it, I think actually I'm going to change it, and I'm going to put, in 7th place, I'm going to put Children of Paradise by Camilla Gradova, just because, like, the more I think about it, the more, like, I actually do want to kind of, like, get back to Fire Rush, maybe. I don't know, like, I feel like it's really hard, and maybe on a different day I would choose this differently, because I had originally said Children of Paradise was going to be 6th. I don't know. For now, I'm going to say Children of Paradise is 7th and Fire Rush is 6th. Or maybe I should just have them both as joint 6th. You guys tell me what you think in the comments. 5th place, we've still got I'm a Fan by Sheena Patel. 4th place is The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. 3rd place is The Bandit Queens. 2nd place is Demon Copperhead. And it's still in my number 1 spot is Wandering Souls, because I just love this book, and it's not just about the historical context as to why I liked it. I genuinely love the writing. Like, yes, it's very sparse and it's a very short book and it does fit a lot in, but there were passages places in the book where I paused the audiobook to then rewind it and write down some of the things that she'd said, because that's how much I enjoyed it. There's, I think, the last paragraph in particular I just, like, savoured and I just loved. So yeah, I don't think anything's going to beat Wandering Souls for me personally, but we shall see. Let me know what your guys' favourite from the long list is so far that you've read. Right, so now I'll talk about weekly stuff. Like I said about, obviously at the beginning of the week we chatted to the lovely Eric on the plot along, which was just super lovely, and also on Sunday we chatted to Jennifer from Jennifer Love Books. So both of those live shows were just so much fun, and for different reasons they were just so great. Like, Jennifer was amazing when in case you guys haven't watched the live show, so the live show we did with Jennifer from Jennifer Loves Books, every single live show we set the guests like challenges, and Jennifer stormed the the book challenge. So you basically have to, in case you guys haven't watched, you have to the guests have to name as many Women's Prize long-listed books as possible that in 30 seconds that have been long-listed since the prize began. And she stormed that challenge. I think she said 22 books or something. And we were like astounded watching her. And I do not know how, I think it was Alice wrote them down, or was it Jem? No, I think it was Jem that wrote them down. It was crazy, and she was just amazing. And Jennifer is just like the sweetest person anyway. She's just got like the loveliest talent. I love watching Jennifer. She's just like so cool. So yeah, it was amazing chatting to her. I loved chatting to her. And then obviously, like I said, Tuesday we were so lucky. We had Eric came on and chatted with us as well. So yeah, and we got to see like his book ladder, and he was telling us loads of stories as well, and it was just brilliant. The only thing was that, you know, that thing when obviously when you're on live shows, people, like, you have different people come onto chats. So there was obviously a troll in the hole, and someone had written the word, I'm going to say it, vagina in the chat. And I was like, so when, as a person, when you're hosting, there's all these comments that are scrolled down the side of the screen. And that comment was blocked by the word next comment. If you do the live shows, you'll understand. But it was blocked, it was hidden. So I just clicked on the comment, not knowing that there was a troll in the hole. And it highlighted across the comment highlighted across the screen, vagina. So, and obviously that's with Eric Carl Anderson, just like chatting away, and I'm highlighting the word vagina. So I could have died inside. And then another thing that happened was I accidentally at one point, so obviously we're talking for like an hour and a half to him, and I accidentally called Eric Derek. I could have died, because what had happened was, I have a next door neighbour called Derek, who I absolutely love. He's like the best person ever. And that morning, we've had power cuts, etc. You don't need to know about this. But I've been chatting with my mum, and I was like, I hope I don't call Eric Derek tonight. And I said to her that when I was chatting to her in the morning after the events of the power cuts. And I was joking about it. I was like, oh, I can't call Eric Derek on the live show. And I only went and bloomin' did it, didn't I? So, but he was like lovely, and it was like a quick slip of the tongue, but he was so sweet, and he didn't appear to even care. And afterwards, he's a good sport. Everyone knows Eric. He's like lovely. So yeah, but yeah, oh my god, I could have died. So that was that. But yeah, once the live show was done, that was good. I was actually at my sister's house that night because we'd been having Virgin Media had been having internet troubles all day, so I was scared that something would disconnect us. So I went over to my sister's house, who does not have is on a different internet provider. So that's why I was in a different location as well, which kind of obviously unsettled me a little bit more, but it was fine because I love my sister and she's amazing. So yeah, that was that. This weekend, like I said, is Easter weekend, so it's just going to be family time. Good Friday is my lovely nephew Thomas's birthday. So Thomas, if you're watching, happy birthday, my love. I love you so much. I know that this is going to be Sunday that this video is going up, but I'm sending you special wishes on my channel. Thomas is the only living person that I've seen come into this world. I was with, apart from my own children obviously, but that's from different angles. So yeah, I was actually with Emily when she gave birth to Thomas, I was one of her birthing partners, which was very sweet. So yeah, I have a special connection with my beautiful nephew. But yeah, so we're just going to be having loads of family time this weekend. That's the plan. We're going to be doing Brook family games, is what we call it. Cheesy time, cheesy family time, when we do board games and just have loads of quality time. Probably go for some walks and all those usual Easter kind of things. Oh, there is one more thing. One of the things I'm planning on watching is A Kind of Spark by Elle McNichol. The TV show is on the BBC now. So I'm going to plan on watching that, either with Belle, because I think she said she wanted to watch it with me. Let me know what your guys' plans are for this weekend, what you're up to, what you're reading, what your favourite books from the Women's Prize are, what you've been watching. Take care, and sending you guys lots of love. Goodbye.